Hey folks, Charlie Longo here, and I am with Meghan Fahie, who works with she's part of the ownership team of Sabego Signworks, and it's a family-owned business, and they do really great work. Depending on your budget, you can get something, nice and small that will fit in a window to something huge that will be around for ages. But Meghan, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Charlie. Thanks for having me, and thanks for all the kind words on my family business.
Yeah, absolutely. So how long has Sebago Signworks been around, I guess?
Yeah, so Sabego Signworks was originally actually Signs and Seconds, originated in Raymond. Uh, Opened in 1993. My dad started it with my grandparents. Shortly after that launched, maybe in a couple years or so, my grandparents decided that the sign industry wasn't really for them. My dad took it over, and then was born Sabego Signworks. We've since moved to Leamington. Once my brother and I got a little older, my dad wanted to move closer to home, just so he could still be productive at work, but still be there for us kids.
Awesome, awesome. And then, if folks were to all want new signs today, what would you recommend for them? Obviously, depending on budget, but what's like your bestseller or the things that like just fly out of your shop?
Yeah, so I mean, I think something that's like super basic and still gets the point across. It depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for storefront signage, just a regular aluminum panel with printed vinyl for your building, or if you want to do something by the road to show people where you are, just a regular post and panel sign. Or if you do a lot of driving, I definitely recommend doing some sort of vehicle advertising. By advertising your vehicle, you could get 600 impressions per mile. So you don't have to spend all the money and do a full vehicle wrap. You could do something as simple as putting some vinyl on your doors and maybe something even on the rear. And it gets the point across pretty well.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of vehicle wraps, and it's pretty powerful, depending on how they do it. It really sets the tone on how professional that business is, etc. Things like that. So awesome, awesome. Do you have any like stories that are like really funny or anything like that as far as sign installation or vehicle wraps that you couldn't believe happened?
Yeah, so nothing like we do a lot of B2B, so nothing really too creative or funny, I guess, per se. My family and I have a tradition of always watching the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I don't know if you're familiar with that movie, but in the movie, they have an older station wagon, of course, from the
Mhm.
80s, and they go to pick up a Christmas tree. It's like 30 feet tall, way bigger than the car. But anyway, a few years ago, we bought a Ford Flex, and my dad's plan was to wrap it to look just like the car in the movie and put a giant Christmas tree on top of it. So I think that's probably the funniest thing that we've done, driving around with the tree at twice the size as the car. We don't need to talk about the dents on the roof of the car. However, I am pretty proud of how well the vinyl held up with it.
Nice, nice. And when people are thinking, you know, uh, about signs or vehicle wraps, etc., what's something that people don't normally think about, but is really important that they should consider?
Yeah, so a lot of people where I understand could be try to be a little bit more budget friendly. Maybe they want something and they're thinking, oh, I just want some vehicle magnets or I just want some small door graphics on the side. We forget about the real estate that's on the back of the vehicle. Now, I understand if you have a pickup truck and you have some racks, maybe it's not feasible for every single vehicle, but if you have an SUV, pickup truck, or car, I try to steer away from doing magnets just because I think that you should spend the extra money, kind of deliver a better looking product to advertise your business. Do something on the sides and do something on the rear of it because it'll bring a lot of extra attention, especially you think about when you're sitting in traffic. If you just have something on the sides, people behind you or in the other rows behind you aren't really going to see what that is. So just something as simple as that could go a really long way.
Mhm. Besides like the awesome work that you guys do, as far as artwork and installation and all that stuff, what would you say like sets Sebago Signworks apart from everybody else?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other really great companies in Maine and even in BNI Maine. I think how we set ourselves apart is that we're one of the only family-owned businesses. I mean, my whole family is pretty much invested in the business, and that means that we all care a lot about it. We all have, money to make to put food on the table for our families. And it just kind of gives us that extra TLC. And I try to keep in touch with our customers, not to just have a professional relationship, but have a personal relationship as well. I think that's got what's gotten me like, this far. Also, I mean, I've gotten a lot of jobs just from simply picking up the phone and saying hello. I've gotten a lot of feedback that not everyone will communicate as quick or as well as we do, and I take a lot of pride in that.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I really appreciate your time today, and I know that you probably have a busy schedule today, and I know I do too. But really, really looking forward to working with you in the future. And anything else that you'd like to add, to someone watching this at home?
No, I mean, I think I'm all good. If anyone's interested in learning more about us and our services, feel free to reach out. Thanks for having
Aw
me.
Awesome. Thank you.